What is going on, gamers, and welcome to my first ever Division gameplay video. In this video I wanted to share some basic tactics with you guys for combat that are going to help you out in this cover-based shooter. So the first move I really want to cover is what I am calling, no one else is calling it this yet, so I'm going to get my dibs on this this term. I play on PSN, so I play on a PlayStation 4, so I'm going to call this move the Roll X. Yeah, like the watch. The Roll X. Basically, in a cover-based shooter, the less time you're exposed, the better. Because anytime you take damage, obviously it's going to jack up your fluidity, it's going to jack up your health, it's going to give the AI, they tend to rotate and manipulate the cover well. So one of the things you're going to want to do is be exposed very little until you get into the position that you want to get into, so that you can engage them on your terms. So here's the Roll X. I call it the Roll X because I'm going to double tap X to roll, then I'm going to tap X a third time on the PlayStation controller to snap me to cover. Now you'll notice it makes it so that if in situations like this where I actually overshoot the cover and I'm exposed, it'll actually snap me back towards the closest piece of cover. So you see the bullets come through, I managed to evade them. And it's also going to help when guys start bum rushing you like this, so that you can quickly snap back to cover even when you're out and exposed. So the Roll X move is something that I do really consistently, and it really does help. Another thing that you're going to want to do is, at least for me, prioritizing targets is a big thing. I prioritize shotgunners first, unless they're snipers. If they're snipers, I'm going to prioritize them. So they can do a ton of damage, you know, take out a full bar of health, if not more sometimes. So you really want to make sure that they're out of the picture quickly. If you can't get an angle on them, what I do is actually limit the sight line. I'll actually go to a position where the snipers can't see me, but I can see the rest of the smaller goons, so that I can take them out before I have to deal with the snipers. Now, one of the most important things that you're going to want to get into the habit of doing is actually placing your reticle before you pop out of cover. So that's the joys of a third-person cover-based shooter, is that you can actually put your reticle right on the guy before you ever come out. So you can actually do target acquisition when you're not even engaged. So you're going to want to make sure that you do that, because flinching is a huge factor in not taking damage. So you want to get the headshot first, so that these guys kind of recoil like this, so that you can just kind of wipe them out quickly without taking any damage. A lot of people have trouble with larger ad mobs because they tend to not take their time in this game. And that's the thing about third-person cover-based shooters, is that they weren't really designed, they weren't meant to play fast. You're supposed to pick your cover, tuck in, and you know, accurately place your shots, and then return to cover when, you know, the AI starts firing back. So the AI are really programmed to use the cover system well. They're also programmed to rotate, so that it forces you in and out of different cover, so you can't just stay in the same place. In some engagements you gotta move around. Now grenades are a big factor too. You see here, just making sure that I stack that burn on them so that I can just kind of pop up and finish them off pretty easily. So you gotta want to make sure that you're, you know, definitely using your equipment. I found that for me, one of the easiest traps to fall into in terms of playing this game is that I tended to kind of forget that my skills and abilities were there. Like, you know, I'd go through a whole firefight basically just popping in and out of cover and shooting guys. But when I forced myself to use my skills, because the thing is, these things cool down pretty quickly. I mean, you can use your skills pretty, you know, a number of times in the same engagement. So the cooldowns aren't that long. So definitely want to take advantage of that. At least with me, it actually helps things go quicker if I remember to use my abilities, because I've got, you know, the mods on my deployable cover that make it so that I can do more damage, and, you know, it gives me all kinds of perks that are just going to help me end those firefights more quickly. So it, you know, it's kind of counterintuitive. Sometimes you think, oh, if I take the time just to use my skills, it's just going to take up more time. I can just shoot these guys with my guns till they drop, and that's true. But, you know, and I'm not finding this game to be too incredibly challenging so far. I've only died a few times. And, you know, I've been taking it slowly. It's kind of repetitive in long chunks for me, so I just kind of play in short bursts. So I'm currently at like level 25 right now. And I'm still having fun with it, absolutely. But like I said, it can get a little repetitive. So make sure that you're using your skills just to kind of mix things up, so it's not just point, shoot, point, shoot, point, shoot. And also getting in the habit of using those skills and abilities and using them well is going to help you out when you get into these boss fights where there are these giant bullet sponges. And you know, every time that you're using an ability that's going to buff your damage, your DPS, all those kinds of things, it's going to whittle down the amount of time that you have to kind of play cat and mouse with these guys. So that's really what you got to do with these big bosses. Just kind of play cat and mouse. You walk around your cover and you wait for them to reload if they're the HMG guys or whatever. I think the only memorable boss fight for me so far has been actually no, I'm not gonna say it because that's a spoiler. Woohoo, that was close. But anyways, I also been having some fun playing the Dark Zone solo, kind of coming in here and kind of seeing if I can wipe out mobs by myself. It's really tough to do, man, especially these these high-leveled elite packs. Sometimes you think that you have an advantage and then suddenly you're totally overwhelmed, and that's kind of fun to me. I kind of like being put in those scenarios. But anyways, I'm enjoying the Division. I hope you are too. I really like it. I don't know yet if I could say that I love it, but I do really like it. I'm having fun playing it, and I will continue to play it. If you're looking for some good content, I would push you towards a guy named Boomslang, and I may link some of his stuff in the description. But Boomslang, he's been intimately involved with the development of this game. He's a fellow clanmate. I was told they actually even put him in the game because of how involved he was in the process, and you know, he did a podcast and all that kind of stuff. So I would direct you towards him. He's in the know when it comes to this game. So check him out, guys. Appreciate you watching my video. I will catch you in the Dark Zone. Maybe.